So, again, welcome to the first class of the new session. I just returned home yesterday from a trip to Estes Park. We went out for a wedding, and I was a bit apprehensive, of course, to travel. Hadn't been on a plane since February, and a little bit apprehensive to be in a group of people. And the experience, I have to say, was I just experienced such a hit of freedom and joy and aliveness that I haven't felt in a long time. And even with all my hesitation and obviously taking precautions, once I got there and was met with this, obviously Colorado is extremely beautiful. And the place that we stayed overlooked the lake and the mountains, and the elk were out, and the deer and the fish, and just got to spend so much time in nature. And then top that off with the extreme joy of watching two people get married and express their love for each other. And it was such a joyful wedding. And then there was laughter and there was dancing. And I was just like, oh my goodness, I have just forgot what this feels like. And I know many of you can relate. We've been steeped in the same structures, same mindset of COVID and everything that's happening. And so my heart, when I came home, felt really full. And when I was on the airplane, I reflected back on the weekend, and I'm like, I cried a lot this weekend, but they were all tears of joy. And I felt like I exhaled for the first time in a long time. And I said to myself, now, as I return back home, how do I maintain this feeling? How do I not let myself slide back into the, oh, here we go again, same old pattern, same old everything, which we can easily fall into. I know I can. And so I took out a piece of paper on the airplane, and I wrote down a list of things, of habits and behaviors and mindsets that I have fallen into that are blocking my joy, obviously blocking my joy. And they can be things like, that I have been overly focused on the future and really not enjoying the present moment, the fear of the future and the unknown. Like numbing out with things like numbing out with a bag of my favorite Barbara's cheese puffs and Netflix, and listening to that inner critic voice that can sometimes get really loud. And then I, at the same time, wrote a list of things that help me get my joy on. And may I focus on those more, like FaceTiming with my grandchildren more often, going for nice long walks in nature. So joy isn't just in Estes Park. My remembrance was joy is here. Joy is inside of each one of us. It can be in wherever environment we're at. We just have to do things that bring joy up and out and not block our joy. So that's our focus for this evening. The word in Sanskrit is ananda, joy ananda. And for those of you that popped on early, I had a screen share up, and it was a quote by Joseph Campbell. It says, "Find a place inside of you where there is joy, and the joy will burn out the pain." And so that is a nice assignment for us every time we practice yoga or meditation, or even just meditating as we walk in nature. Like, where is the joy? It's usually in here, but it's often covered by external circumstances and our mindset. So I invite you to close your eyes, and we'll turn inside. Take a few moments to center this evening. Maybe you can relate to what I'm sharing. Maybe your joy meter has gone down. Maybe your tank is feeling a little bit low in that department. There's a beautiful teaching in yoga. It's actually the first yoga sutra or teaching. And it says, united in the heart, consciousness is steadied. Then we abide in our true nature, joy. United in the heart, our consciousness is steadied. Then we abide in our true nature, which is joy. Begin to drop your attention down to your heart center. Let's spend a few moments with heart-centered breath, beginning to awaken this center of joy within us in the heart. So breathing into the heart, breathing out of the heart. Just a few moments. Give yourself permission to be open to a sense of joyfulness this evening, even if it's just a little glimmer. And please join the hands together in front of your heart center. Take a moment to bow, acknowledging this time that you've carved out for you. May it feed your soul. May it strengthen your body. May it enliven your mind. And we ask for goodness and grace to fill our practice. And then lifting your head, release your hands, let your eyes open. And here we go. So find a seat on your mat. If you are on a blanket, you can take that off to the side and just sit right on your bum. And I'm just going to adjust my computer here a little bit. Here we go. So take a seat right on your sits bones here and bring feet out in front of you. And then bring your hands behind you. So from here, roll your shoulders back, start to lift up your beautiful heart. Let your shoulders roll back. And bring your attention to your fingertips. Each one, index finger, then the second finger, third finger, fourth finger, and thumb. And really indent the mat with your fingertips, claw. Then begin to lift your hips just a little bit. Inhale as you lift and exhale as you lower without your shoulders popping forward like this. So keeping them back the whole time. Inhale up, side out, exhale on the way down. Once again, inhale up, side out. Last time, inhale, lift just a little. And exhale, side on down. Fantastic. Take your right leg straight out. Reach around, grab your left leg and sit up as tall as you can. Deep breath in. And then exhale, round your back into cat pose. Holding onto your shin, draw your chin deeply down towards your chest. Feel the upper back, shoulder blades pulling gently apart. And then once again, rise, come all the way up to tall. And this time, cross your foot over, left hand behind you. Inhale, lift, and turn slowly to your left. Keep connecting to the breath like a wave inside of you. And then slowly come back to center. Switch legs now. Just bend the right leg, place the foot on the floor, hold on to the shin. Inhale, lengthen up through your spine. And then exhale, round into a really big cat pose, inviting the chin to draw down towards your chest, and expanding across the upper back. Back door of the heart's wide open here now. We're gonna have the front door and the back door open tonight. Come all the way up tall. Simply cross your right ankle over, right hand behind you on your fingertips, and inhale, lengthen. Exhale, a nice gentle twist. 2 more breaths here. Stay connected to the flow of your breath. And then coming back to center. Uncross the right leg and then just cross the left ankle over the top of your right thigh. Hands behind you, fingers turn back again. Claw the finger pads, roll the shoulders back. Then bend your right leg, place the foot on the floor. Just check in with your left hip here, and on purpose, let your legs sway a little, side to side. Now you can continue that swaying motion, or you may choose to stop in the middle and begin to lift the hips up to the level that's comfortable for you. Let your left knee extend forward as you firmly press down through your left shin bone, and then lower yourself right on down. And we're going to do the switcheroo. So bring the right ankle over the left thigh. Bring the left foot in. Lengthen through your spine and begin that side to side rocking. And then you can keep rocking or stop in the middle and start to lift your pelvis, shoulders rolling back, firmly pressing the right ankle down into the left leg, extending out through your right knee. And then take your time lowering on down. All right, from here we're going to bring the feet both to the ground. Hold your shins. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, round into cat pose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round, side out. 2 more times. The sigh connects us to the part of the brain that helps us relax instantaneously. So sigh it out. Last one. And then rising, come all the way up. We're going to make our way on up to standing now. And once we arrive to standing, since we are talking about unleashing your joy this evening, we're going to start with the breath of joy to get some energy stirring positively in the body. So feet hip width apart. Just a quick review of the arms. The arms will come in front of your chest and down on an inhale, out to the side and down on an inhale, up above your head, another little quick inhale, and then an exhale. You'll bend your knees and sweep the arms behind you. You'll come back up to inhale. All right, so let's give it a go. So it's 3 sniffs in through your nose, 1 exhale out through your mouth. Let's begin. Inhale, 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 exhale. Inhale, 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 exhale. Keep going, don't overthink it. Let your arms be free as you swing them forward and side and up, and exhale out. Inhale up, out, way up and down. 2 more, front, side, up and down. Inhale, inhale, stay down this time, exhale. Let the arms dangle, let the head dangle. Pause here. And now from here, if you're not already, wiggle yourself up to the front of your mat or walk in a forward bend up to the front of your mat. And then bend your knees, everyone, please. Lay your chest on your thighs. And from the root of your neck, where the neck meets the shoulders, just think of your neck releasing, getting longer. And now from here, straighten your legs, half lift 3 times. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, side out. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, side out. Last one. And release. Stepping back to a downward facing dog. Take your time. Find the general shape here, and then within that shape, begin some fluid action. You can start to pedal the legs, as we often do. Just a good way to check in with your feet. First and foremost, just feel toe, ball, heel. Feel the sensation move up through your calf muscles, maybe into your hamstrings, your back. Then lower your knees down to the mat. Pause here and come onto your forearms. Once you arrive on your forearms, just interlace your fingers together. Check to make sure your elbows are underneath your shoulders, and then bow your head. Just let the head bow in a variation of child's pose. Looking back towards your feet, curl your toes under if they're not already, and then firmly press down through your elbows and your forearms. Engage your abdomen, and then lift your knees an inch or two off the floor. So not very high, just lift the knees and hold here. And now imagine there's a string attached to your bottom and someone's pulling your pelvis up. So start to lift your hips up as high as you can. Pelvis goes high, your head is released, dangling down. Hips are high, so it's like an elbow down dog here. And then start to retrace your tracks just as slowly. So begin to bend your knees slowly. We're going to stop an inch or two right before you hit the floor and pause. Pause, pause, pause. And then lower the knees all the way down and make your way up to a kneeling position. Curl the toes under. Bring the hands on your low back here so your fingers are going down like you're sliding them in your pockets. And then roll your shoulders. Well, speaking of joy, here comes Jack. Jack the joy cat. Roll your shoulders back and lift up through your heart. So we're going to keep our chin level here, not dropping the head back, please. So just keep your chin level. Roll your shoulders back. Start to slide the flesh of your buttocks down a little bit. And then just lift up like a big old fountain of joy is coming right out of your heart. Breathing up there. Sorry, Jack's decided to do a little grooming there. And lift up. And now from here, come back to center. Circle your right arm up and back, and it may meet up with your heel. If not, put it on the back of your thigh. So heel or thigh, and bring your left arm up. Reach high, gently press your pelvis forward. And again, we're not dropping the head back. You can start to look up a little. And then inhale, come up, bring both arms down. You're going to circle now. Circle the left arm up and around. Either place it on the back of your thigh or to the heel, and stretch the right arm up. Drop into your breath here. Press the pelvis gently forward. You might even put a block over here under your left hand. Or again, I just have my hand on my thigh here. You can do this too. Good. Inhale, come up. Exhale down. Let's move back into downward facing dog. So hips on up. And now from here, step your left leg forward up between your hands, left leg. And move your back foot an inch to the right, just widen your stance, and then make yourself up, bring yourself on up to crescent legs. Let your hips gently steer forward, so we're not forcing, and interlace the hands behind you. Shoulders roll back, extend up through the top of your head. Spine is long, and then you might explore bending a little deeper in through your front leg. Good, holding steady, the legs are squeezing in towards the middle, doing your best. And then from here, lift the chest just a tad more if it's available. Swing the arms through and up. Maybe a gesture of celebration. Maybe there's something that's bringing you extra joy right now in your world. Exhale, come on down to the mat. Make your way back to a plank pose, and then holding in plank right here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower yourself on down. Inhale through to cobra, focusing on the shoulders rolling back and the legs drawing towards one another. Exhale down. Downward facing dog, up and back. Bend your knees about 3 to 4 inches, so not as low as we did before. And then keep your knees bent here. Lead with your bottom. Start to push your bottom back and up. Really slow, back and up, super, super slow as you begin to straighten your legs little by little by little by little. And then from there, let's all step our right leg forward. Time for crescent legs on this side. So make your way up to crescent position. Interlace the hands behind you. You can even keep your elbows bent here. See where you can get some mobility in your shoulders drawn back. Even take your throat back slightly. And then opening up through the chest. If it's available and you want to go deeper, stretch your arms straight, but otherwise just keep the elbows bent. You'll get plenty of opening. When we find ourselves, not intentionally, but when we find ourselves with our joy blocked, our posture often starts to model that. The shoulders round forward. We start to close down. So the practice of yoga helps us open back up. And in that we have a sense of remembrance of joy is an innate quality in us. Sweep your arms forward and up. Reach high. Lunge deep. Breathe full. And then on an exhale, make your way back down to the mat, please. Step forward now to forward bend. And let your head release again. Nice slow Ujjayi breath. Really feel your feet, four corners, anchoring down, anchoring, like push the floor away. Notice what that does to the legs. Bring the hands to your hips. Keep the strong legs and then slowly come up to standing. Awesome. Stepping to the middle of your mat. Let's balance here. So we're going to bring your feet hip width apart. Put a little bend in both knees. And then shift your weight over to your right leg. Right leg. Bring the left leg up and still keep a bend in your standing leg. All right, so we're going to bring our arms out like Karate Kid here. And so sink deeper into your standing leg. I think this was called the crane, wasn't it? The crane. It was the final pose where he won the match. You know what I'm talking about, right? Karate Kid. Daniel-san, Mr. Miyagi. Hold here. Good. Now see if you can reach down to your ankle perhaps, or your heel, or the ball of your foot, or maybe it's your knee. Hold on to something and squeeze your inner thighs towards each other. If you have your foot and you want to go a little straighter, drop your heel down and come on out, or keep holding your knee. Find the customized pose for you. Lengthen through your spine as you push your foot into your hands and pull back with your hand. Good, and now bring your head up, bring your foot up over your head. Just kidding, and bring it back down. Some of you are going there, I know. All right, let's do the other side. Bend both knees, shift the weight to the left leg, and then keeping the knees bent, nice strong awareness through your core, bring it on up, do the crane. Hold it here. Hold it here. Good. Now it's up to you where you want to hold on to. So you're making your own pose here, your own asana. You can hold the knee, you can hold the ankle, heel, ball of foot. Yogi's choice. You can stay right here. You can explore straightening if you want. Heel down and out. Squeeze the legs towards each other. So we find what works for us, what brings us a sense of challenge, but also doesn't knock us over too much. All right, and then release, bring it on down. Separate your feet wide. We're going to do a pendulum flow now, back side to side. So hands on your, what do you call these? Hips, hands on your hips. And we're going to start with breath of joy in a different way. So the arms will go forward, side, up, and at the top the hands find one another, and the exhale comes right down in front back to the heart. Okay, so inhale, 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 exhale down. So let's do a few rounds of that. Hands at your sides, strong legs. Begin. Inhale, 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 hands down. Again. Last one. And all the way down now to the floor. Release. Begin to pivot or turn to your right into a deep lunge. So walk to your right, turn your feet, and then from here, lower your back knee down to the mat. Inhale, swing the arms up to Anjaneyasana, hugging the legs in, reaching high. And then exhale, swing your arms down. You can touch the floor or blocks or sweep them behind you. And then see about lifting the back leg in this hover position. From here, bring the hands to the heart center and slowly lift up through your spine. Holding here. Now, you can stay here. You could lower your back knee even, or you can shift all of your weight to the front foot and balance by lifting your back leg. So you might lean forward, push off, maybe you even tap down here, and then lift the left leg up and holding here in this balance. Lengthen through your spine, put a smile on your face. Let those little positive, happy endorphins kick in by just simply turning the corners of your mouth up. Then bring your leg back behind you, reach back, touch down, and reach to the floor. Pausing here. And now pivot back to center. Turn your feet, everyone. Hold here. And then bring the hands to your hips. Lift your shoulders and come up. Don't worry, I didn't forget the other side, which I sometimes do. Back to breath of joy. So this really stirs up our energy in a positive way. So here we go again. Inhale, 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 exhale. Front, side, up and down. Front, side, up and down. Stay with your breath. In, 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 and out. Last time, in, and now come all the way down. Pause inside of your breath. And in the pauses, perfect time for us to be a bit more introspective. What is blocking your joy, if anything? What habit or mindset or situation are we allowing to block our joy? The first step of unblocking is just shining the light of awareness on it. Begin to twist or bend now. Rotate to your left into a deep lunge. Lower the back knee down. Inhale, stretch up towards the ceiling. Feel the back knee rooting down and drawing forward. And just get your ribs to lift way, way up away from your pelvis. Awesome. And then from here, you can swing the arms down. They might choose to land on blocks or the floor here, or swing them back through as you lift the back leg, shoulders roll back. And of course, we're engaging the abdomen here, right? Keeping some stability, some support for the spine. And now from here, coming all the way up and pause. Bring the hands to your heart center. So this side might be a little different than the other side. Hold here. Nice full breath. And now from here, you're going to reach the arms forward this time and swing them behind you as you come into balance. Woo! Use them any way you want. Come into balance and hold. Then slowly take your foot behind you, reach back, touch down, and find a stable ground again. From here, pivot to the front. and come on down to the mat. Again, just let yourself land in that place of introspection. This time, perhaps asking the question, what helps you get your joy on? What things not automatically let that sense of innate joy bubble up inside of you? Maybe it's playing with your pets or your children or grandchildren. Maybe it's watching a funny old rerun of Carol Burnett, Tim Conway as the dentist. You remember that one? Makes me laugh every single time. All right, my kids, bring your feet in towards each other, heel toe, and then bring your hands onto your hips. Please lift your shoulders and up you go to standing. And now 20 jumping jacks. Just kidding, come to the front of your mat. It's like the old Jack LaLanne exercise show. Stand on your left leg, bring your right leg on up, and lift on up. Yeah, maybe movement brings you joy. I found that I just haven't been dancing forever, and dancing brings me so much joy. All the things that we got buried in a little heap when Mr. COVID showed up in our life. I'm not going to let him steal my joy anymore. And it doesn't have to be a he. How about an it? I'm not going to let it. Good, release. Right foot to the ground. Left foot on up. Holding here in Bakasana, stretching through your quad. And one more breath. And release. Now you may want to block in front of you here if your hamstrings are on the shorter side. Have a block and you can turn it on its high setting or medium, whatever works for you. We're going to stretch the hamstrings and balance at the same time. I'm going to use my blocks. So you're going to stand on your left leg, and before you do anything, push down into the floor or the blocks and puff your back up towards the ceiling. So just feel your back ribs move upward. And notice how that automatically brings your abdominals online, supporting you. Keep the fullness of your back as you sweep the right leg up behind you, about hip height. We go. And then push down firmer into the floor or blocks and feel re-engagement of the core. Breathing. Imagine someone pulling your right ankle and they're extending and pulling your leg back just slightly. And now start to lift your head slightly and imagine someone pulling the hair on the top of your head, unless you don't have any like my husband, but extend out through the top of your head, opposite of your foot. In the middle, are the abs still engaged? Good. Float the right leg down. We get to have the same amount of fun on the second side. So sweep the left leg back. Feel that fullness of your back first. Sorry, I forgot to tell you that. And then just looking down right now, you're really pressing into the floor or the blocks. Let that help you stabilize and stay connected through the middle. Someone's pulling your left ankle now. Your leg gets a little bit longer. Now keep that sense that your ankle's being pulled and stretch out through the top of your head at the same time. Everything uniting, everything coming online together. Make sure the breath is present. And then slowly bring your left leg on down. So from there, you can choose. You can come into a half squat here. Where you bring your hands, forearms on your thighs, or you can come all the way down to a full malasana. See what feels right for you. Let the head bow. If you're up here, just let the head bow either way. All right, and then lift your pelvis back up wherever you are. Hands to your hips. Rise, come all the way up. So we're coming back to the pendulum now. We're going to add on this time. So this time you may want to block on either side because there's going to be a half moon coming. So I'm just giving you a heads up if you want to separate your blocks there. All right, so hands on the hips. We're going to inhale, swing on up from there. Exhale, forward fold. Pivot to the right, turn your legs into deep lunge. Pause here and get long through your spine. And then lower your back knee down. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, arms come down. You can stop on the floor or swing them through as you come to hover. So you might be touching, you might be up. And then from here, start to bring the hands to the heart. Lift your torso into crescent. Find a steady moment. And now slowly start to straighten your front leg. You're still on the ball of the back foot, so there's a lot of balance here as you straighten the front leg. Engage your abdomen. And now we'll go from here to half moon. So start to lean forward slowly, touch the ground, or reach on out for your block as you bend your front leg, push off the back leg, and lift on up. You can have your hand on the block or the floor, of course. Engage through your core, lengthen back through your back leg like someone's pulling your ankle, and forward through your spine. Options are to keep hand on your hip or extend to the sky. You might even turn your gaze outward or down or up and fully expand. Like, let your posture perhaps be an expression of the joy you feel or the joy you would like to feel. Expand it on out. Good. And then slowly release your top hand down to the floor of the mat and lower your back leg way back down to a deep lunge. Good job. And now from here, pivot around to the front. Take a breath here. And now please begin to turn to your left. So pivot your legs on around. Pause for a moment here. Lower the back knee down. Inhale, swing the arms on up. Anjane. And then exhale, bring your arms down, either touch down or swing them on through as you lift the back leg. Draw your shoulder blades on your back. Let your posture muscles get a little bit stronger. Let that help open the heart, more expansiveness across the heart. Hands come up, acknowledging the heart. And now from here, straighten your front leg. Squeeze your inner thighs towards each other. It's going to help you. Lengthen up through your spine, maybe a gentle back bend. And then start to lean out over your front leg. And about midway down, you'll start to bend. Hand reaches to the floor or block as you lift the back leg. Make it strong. Extend the back leg out. Let it be a seeker. It's seeking joy back there. See if you can lift it up. Engage your abdomen. Right hand has the options again, hip or sky. Deep, full breath. And now from here, we're going to lower the arm, lower the leg back to a deep lunge, and step to a downward dog from here, everyone. Down dog. Separate your feet to the outer edges of your mat. We're going to big dog status. Bend your knees, please. And then look at your hands. Move your hands closer so that your thumbs almost touch, and maybe bring them back just a little bit. Shorten up your dog. So the thumbs are almost touching, the legs are wide. Bend the knees. Here comes the good old Elvis Dog. Haven't done this one in a long time. Let your right knee fall inward like Elvis. Your left leg's going to go straight. And then shift the weight onto your right arm. Keep it stable as you lift the left arm up and look up. So right knee is bent, left leg is straight. Left arm reaches high as the right arm pushes really strong. And lower down, thumbs near one another. Switch legs, please. Bend your left leg. Extend your right leg up. Right arm up, excuse me. That'll make more sense. Right arm up. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. And come on down. And then lower your knees down. First child's pose here. Boy, it's been a while. And then sit your hips back to your heels in that general area. Stack the forehead, hands under the forehead. And fall inward to your breath. And then lifting your head. Please extend your arms. We're coming up to plank pose. Nothing makes you happier than a long hold in plank, right? You could lower your knees at any time. Otherwise, squeeze your inner heels together, your inner legs. Encourage your back body to fill up so your ribs slightly press up towards the ceiling. Squeeze your forearms towards one another. Lengthen through the top of your head. Isn't this fun? And claw your fingertips. Holding until the Elvis song comes on. A whole lot of shaking going on. Thank you. Thank you very much. And now from here, slowly lower down. See if you can go slow. Slow, 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 slow. All the way down, yes. Inhale to cobra as you rise. Sweetly roll the shoulders back. And exhale your way back down. Push back, downward facing dog. Walk your hands on back to your feet, everyone. Back, back, back. Hands to hips. Shoulders up and come up to standing. All right. So from here, coming back to the center of our mat, you still have your blocks on either side. And we're going to play around with some shifting and springing. Shifting and springing. All right. So have fun with it. So you're going to take your legs wide, maybe not as wide as you had them before. Your right foot is going to face straight ahead, and now your left foot is going to face out, okay? And then just bring your hands on your pelvis or your hips for now. So what I want you to do is bend your back leg. As you shift your hips that way, come up onto the heel over here. So you're up on your heel, and you're just putting your hand maybe right here on your thigh. Feel the inner thigh might be talking to you. Whole lot of stretching going on. And now from here, just put the foot down and then you spring off your back leg. You might want to watch us spring and come back down, okay? So come to here. We're just going to practice that spring 3 times. So you go here. It's like you catch hang time, you catch air. You go, ah, and you come back. And then you go up and you come back. Last time you go up, whoa, and you come back. Good, and let's switch to the other side. So left foot straight, right foot turns out. Shift your hip back as you bend this left knee and come onto the heel. Just hold the first one stable. Good, and now we'll do a little spring, just one, just give it a go. Go, whoa, and then come back. And now 3 in a row, here we go. Have fun with it, whoa, and back. Sound effects are good. Whoa! And bring it on back. All right, center. So now we're going to do that on the first side again. You'll have a block if you want it for your half moon. We're going to be springing to a half moon. You don't even have to touch the floor. If you want to just stay out there in that half moon shape, you can do that as well. That's actually a little bit harder. So see what works for you. So here we go. We're going to come on back. And now we're going to spring to whatever form of half moon feels right for you. Go, ah. Maybe you touch down and then you say, oh, okay, I'm going to come up out of it. And just hold in there. And then bend and come back down. Super, let's do the other side. So turn your right foot out. We're going to bend on back. And 1, and 2, and 3, go. What side's easier? You already finding that? I have one side that just goes womp, womp, womp. Play with it. Maybe take your hand off the block And then make your way back. Fantastic. Bring your feet on in. Shake your legs out a little bit. All right, let's cross. So, hands on your pelvis, bend your knees, lift your right leg up. Cross it behind you, all the way down to the toe or the ball of the foot is on the ground. And now have a little seat, just sit down. Sit right here. Good, now bring your arms into cactus. Feel your arms externally rotate and feel your shoulder blades, specifically the bottom tip of your shoulder blade, move in and lift up your heart. Good. And then bring your arms out, palms face up, straight out in front of you in a V position. From here, we're going to start to stand. Bring the knee up as if it were going to touch your right elbow. Moses, our dear friend Moses, calls this grace catching pose with the arms. So catch a little grace and then lower. Bring the right leg across the top of the left. You're so welcome to hold a wall right now. Just scurry on over. Hands can come to the heart and come into standing baby cradle. Hips go back and up, back and up. If you want to hold a block, you could put a block down here as well. And then make your way up and release. Let's try it all on the second side. Hand on your hips. Little bend in the knee. Lift the left leg up. Take it behind you. Cross it over. Come onto the ball of the foot. And then a little baby seat. So just holding here, really good for the IT bands. Just hold in a little dip. Good. Now, let's add the upper body. So bring it on up and let this be a gesture of desiring to feel more joyful. Shoulder blades on, like bring it on, world, bring it on. Yeah, shoulder blades lift the heart. And remember, it's that joy is an innate quality in all of us. Good, now start to balance. You're gonna take the arms into grace catching pose. So bring them out, palms are facing up like they're holding, catching something. And lift your left leg to the height that feels right. Hold here. If you're bored with that, you could do pat your head, rub your stomach. I can't do that. And then release on down. Let your arms come down to the sides. All right, we're gonna come down to the floor and have a seat on your bottom, please. And let's move into some awareness, some strengthening through the abdominals, the core. So we did this at the beginning. I opened your shoulders. We did a little bit of lifting of our bottom. So let me give you a couple options here. This is going to call a lot on the strength of our abdomen. So this time, turn your fingers forward. But when you do that, we still have to be aware that the head of the arm bone doesn't fall forward like this a lot. So there still has to be the action that you are trying to maintain those back, okay? So don't give in to gravity, keep pressing back, do the best you can. They might move a little. So from here, you're gonna bend both legs. And then let me just show you once. So one option might be lift as far as you feel comfortable and focus on the shoulders, keeping them back. Okay? Second option is going to be swing your bottom back through with straight legs, and you'll see what you need to, what you'll feel. So I'll show you that one. So you're going to lift. If you choose second option, you'll swing back through. Try not to let your bum touch the floor and look inward, draw up through your abdomen, and then come right back up. Okay, so I'm letting you choose. Do 3 or 4 of those, or do 3 or 4 of just lifting the hips up and down. Both are beneficial. See where you're at. How we doing? I bet you're already on 10, aren't you? And wherever you're at, hold it, unless it's a compromised position, and then lower yourself on down. Superb. Bring your feet forward. And actually, migrate up to the front of your mat a little bit so you have room to roll back. So from here, I want you to hold on to your right shin. Just interlace your fingers on your right shin and stretch your left leg long on the floor. So left leg long, right leg bent. This front shin has the action of kicking forward into your hands. So you really want to press the shin forward strong. That's your brake system. Now, starting with your awareness at your low back and sequentially rolling down. So your left leg should feel like it's pressing into a wall. That's going to help break you, have a brake system, not break you. And then roll down slow. When your shoulders almost get to the floor, it's time to go back up. Don't touch your head. Then push your shin into your hands. Push it, push it, push it, push it, and pull yourself back up. Let's do the same side again. So start to roll down through your spine. I can't tell you how active your legs have to be. Left leg long, right leg kicking into the hands. Try not to let the head touch. And then up you go. Back, 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 back. Back, 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 back. And then switch sides. Having fun entertaining myself tonight because I can't hear any of you. So I hope you're enjoying yourself. Interlace your left hand or your hands on your left leg. Kick your foot forward. Right leg long and strong. And then take your time kicking your left shin up into your hands. It's going to help you go slower. Taking a slow joy ride, and then back you go up. Joy, 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 all the way up. We go to the second side again, and come back down. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep them doggies rolling back up. And there you have it. Now, for those of you that really want a joy adventure, I'll give you a couple options because one might be too crazy. So option one, those of you that want to do a roll over, looks like this. You just roll up and over and let your legs extend. Please keep your head center. And for those of you that are like, that's not in my wheelhouse tonight, lay on your back and then just extend your legs up, and you can reach up and give a stretch here. So you choose. Either way, whether your bottom is closer to the floor or lifted, see if you can reach for your ankles, squeeze your ankles, and pull your leg bones deep down into the hip sockets. So you might be here, I'm modifying the pose right now, or you might have your back lifted off the floor more in a plow. So try to pull your leg bones back into the sockets. And wherever you are, my friends, we're going to start to come out of this. So slowly release your pelvis down to the floor. Begin to bend your legs. Bring your feet down. And I'm going to scooch back more to the center of my mat. You may want to do the same thing if you're way far up there. And now let's go into we haven't done this posture in a long time. So if your hips are a little tighter, mine were tight from traveling. If they're tighter, you can stick with the eye of the needle pose. So either way, we'll all start with our left ankle crossed over our right thigh. And we'll go into the first option. You'll bring the legs towards your chest. Good old eye of the needle. Now, if your desire is to go to a different place to explore new territory, you can explore it and always come back here, or you can explore and continue. So release your hands and hold your foot with your right hand. Try to keep it flexed. Hold your knee with your left hand, and then bring the foot and knee towards your chest more as you extend your right leg out at a long diagonal here, so you're up and out. So it's like you're doing pigeon, air pigeon, or a version of baby cradle. You could lift your head and shoulders up off the floor. Some of you out there I know might want to wrap and put your foot in the crease of your elbow and then continue to stretch your right leg down. Just see where you're at. Any of these variations where you meet up with true sensation and not pain. We're not inflicting any pain. And now from here, if your right leg is straight, bend it, meet back up at eye of the needle pose, and then take your arms in a T position, palms face up. The legs are still in this eye of the needle shape. Roll slowly to your right hip until the outside of your right thigh lands on the floor and the sole of your left foot releases. Your left toes are facing out away from your body. You could explore reaching the right hand down, maybe meeting up with the left ankle. And another option is to turn your head to the left. Make a fist with your left hand and then just curl the fist inward towards your elbow so you feel the forearm stretch, extending out through your arm long as you're bending right at the wrist joint. Turn your head back to center, please, and then bring the legs up, back to the middle, and place your left foot on the ground. Second side, cross your right ankle over. We'll all start here with thread the needle. Some of us will choose to stay here if it feels the best. Just give yourself time to check in and see what's brewing. From here, you might explore holding the foot with your left hand. Hold it firm so it stays flexed. Holding the knee with your right hand. You can give a little nudge with your opposite leg. Just draw the knee and chest towards your, or knee and foot towards your chest. And then you could explore the leg straightening. If that's too much, just go back. You could lift your head and put the foot in the crease of your left elbow. You might notice a big difference in legs. Sometimes I feel like one of my legs belongs to someone else. It's this one. It's a little more special. It needs a little more love and attention. All right, now if your left leg is straight, you know what to do. Bring it back. Keep the legs in this shape as you open the arms in a T, and then very slowly roll to your left side. As you can tell, we're starting to slow down now. You can begin to look towards your right. Just make sure the outer edge of your left thigh is on the ground if possible. If this is too much, you could stack your right foot on top of your left thigh as well. Just bring it in a little. Sometimes it's too much. And you can add that nice forearm stretch with your right hand. Make a fist. Curl the fist inward as you extend out through the arm. And don't forget to breathe. You've stimulated energy in the body with the breath of joy several times this evening. But every single breath is a moment of pleasure. And then slowly come back to center. Everyone bring your legs in and separate your feet. Let's take a few breaths here, a few minutes in Adonasana Butterfly. So bring your legs, feet together, and take a moment as you rest to invite a lumbar curve into your low back. So there's a little space there. And then let's place the hand, one hand on your heart center, just somewhere wherever you feel your heart resides. And the other hand on your abdomen, on your navel. And you don't have to force the breath in any way here. Don't try to over expand or over breathe. Just simply notice the current of breath as it shows up for you. It might be very faint, very subtle, but somewhere under one hand or the other, you'll feel a little tiny bit of movement perhaps. Holding your awareness in each breath. First Yoga Sutra. United in the heart, consciousness is steadied. Then we abide in our true nature, which is joy. Allow the breath to steady your mind. And then bring your awareness to your legs as you begin to close the legs. Find or maintain, make sure you've maintained a little curve under your low back as you pick your feet up and hold your kneecaps. Feet are dangling and you're holding onto the kneecaps, and then a gentle, slow, subtle rocking side to side. Pausing in the place of the center, place both feet down. And now we'll take a little stay in Shavasana. So extend your legs out as you know to do, cover up, put on your socks, whatever makes you cozy and comfortable, and allow yourself the beautiful restorative gift of a few minutes in rest position. I will hold space for you. Keep an eye on the time. And invite you to be present with where you are, enjoying this time. Taking a moment, if you haven't already, to close the eyes and release the tongue to the basement of your mouth. And while you're in this very restful and receptive position, if you'd like, I invite you and encourage you to plant a couple seeds of self-inquiry. Not expecting the answers right now, but perhaps reflecting on the answers later as they show up. The first seed to plant is, what is blocking my joy? It's probably more than one thing. What are a few things that are blocking my joy? Again, don't try to answer it right now. Just plant the seed, the question. Later, you can make a little list if you'd like. And the second seed of inquiry, what helps me get my joy on? What helps me get my joy on? The word in Sanskrit is ananda. What helps me find ananda, bliss, joy? Releasing any inquiry right now and just rest in being. Being still, being quiet, being at ease. As you continue to rest for another minute, I share with you the words of the author of the book called True Yoga. Her name is Jenny Lee. And here's what Jenny has to say. She says, to be truly happy is to be successful at life. And like anything worth accomplishing, these practices require dedication. We must choose a peaceful response in times of conflict. We must choose a grateful thought when we feel negative and down. We must choose to tell the truth even when it's not convenient. These are not always easy choices, but if we are ready to claim true happiness and security that can sustain us through all the ups and downs of life, then these choices become a small price for the serenity and joy and wisdom they bring. Life can become a playground of profound freedom, joy, and love. Beginning to drop back to the awareness of your breath, sinking into the feeling of the breath, feeling of aliveness inside of you. Remembering that joy is our birthright. Doesn't mean that we have to feel joyful all the time. We won't. But it's there. We can choose to move back in that direction. Starting now to awaken, moving fingers, toes, letting your eyes start to slowly open. And begin to bend your knees inward towards the chest as you are ready. And then rolling to your right side and making your way up to your seat, please. And when you arrive in your seat, please join the hands in front of your heart. Take a moment to bow, honoring this beautiful practice of yoga, self-inquiry. Remembering it's our divine right to know our blissfulness, our perfect nature, and nothing can keep us from this realization if we diligently undertake the practices given to us for discovery, like yoga and meditation. No external pleasure will ever compare or fulfill us in the same way as when we find this joy that's innately in us. So get your joy on. Spark joy in yourself. And before you know it, others will want to gravitate to you for a joy shot. bowing to the light in each of you, to the joy in each of you. Namaste. And that's a wrap. Thank you all for being here tonight. And I'll look forward to seeing you next week when we start our series, which is going to be The Adventure of the Three Brains in Vegas, meeting the Mala sisters. So stay tuned for that adventure. You're like, I have no idea what she's talking about. I'll unfold it in the next 7 weeks. So I hope you'll stick with me and we'll have some fun together and learn a lot about ourselves. And I appreciate each of you being here tonight. If you have any questions, let me know. And also, just want you to know that I have almost secured a location for us to meet and practice. If any of you are desiring to meet in person, like maybe once a month, a big venue that I can rent by the hour. And we could potentially come with masks, spread out, and practice in in-person community on a Sunday. I think I'm working on the date of November 15th. I'm just waiting to hear about confirmation. So buckle up, as Bobby says here, and see if you can enjoy, or join us is what I'm trying to read and talk at the same time. Yes. The Three Brains in Vegas with the Mala sisters. Yeah, hooray for the venue. I know, Mary, I'm working on it. All right, love y'all. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Have a fantastic week. And ask yourself those questions. Do your joy homework. All right, thanks everyone. Oh, hi Carla. Didn't get to say hi to you earlier. Yay, you made it. All righty. Fantastico. Peace out. Oh, thanks, Andrew. My love to you and Suzanne. Boy, after being in Colorado, I could see why you want to move there. It was so beautiful. Hugs to you guys as well. All righty, signing off, everyone. So long.